did. You hear?
1983. One man had 4 minutes to decide. His choice saved every single person alive today. September 26, 1983. The Cold War. The US and Soviet Union had enough nuclear weapons to destroy Earth 12 times over. Both sides believed the other was ready to strike first. One wrong move. That's all it took. Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov, 44 years old, Soviet Air Defense Forces, night shift, secret bunker, 100 kilometers outside Moscow. His job, watch for incoming American missiles. Rows of soldiers, banks of radar screens, complete silence. Just another night. 12:15 a.m. The alarm screams. Red lights. Every soldier on their feet. One word flashes across the room in angry red. Launch. Computer confidence level, highest. 5 U.S. nuclear missiles, heading to Moscow. 40 minutes out. Petrov stared at the screen. Protocol was clear. Report it up, immediately. That triggers a Soviet counterlaunch. World War III. Hundreds of millions die. His entire team is staring at him, waiting. Something felt wrong. If America attacks first, they wouldn't send just 5 missiles. He picked up the phone, told his superiors, false alarm. He was right. The alarm stopped. A soldier shook his head. False alarm confirmed. The room exhaled. A Soviet satellite had reflected sunlight off clouds. The system mistook it for missile launches. One glitch, one satellite. One moment of reflected light. That's what almost ended the world. Petrov was never decorated for this. Never publicly thanked. Quietly retired. The world had no idea it almost ended that night. Did you hear about him?
15 years ago, at the height of the Cold War, a Russian army officer looked up at his early warning computer screen and saw American nuclear warheads heading east. Amazingly, he didn't panic, but decided it was a false alarm. Alan Little reports from Moscow on the man who may well have saved the world, even though his decision cost him his job.
The system was known as mutually assured destruction, or MAD, and it was deemed to have kept the peace in Europe for half a century by making war so devastating as to be unthinkable. Deterrence through the balance of terror. Each side had stockpiles of thousands of missiles carrying nuclear warheads targeted on their opponent's cities. An attack from either side would be detected by computerized surveillance and immediately trigger a devastating counterattack. But the system did not take account of one dangerous possibility: computer error. Stanislav Petrov, now a retired army officer, was a software engineer in the Soviet Armed Forces. On September the 26th, 1983, he was on duty at a surveillance center near Moscow. That night, he says, the world approached the abyss of nuclear Armageddon.
Suddenly, the screen in front of me turned bright red. An alarm went off. It was piercing, loud enough to raise a dead man from his grave. And the computer showed that the Americans had launched a nuclear strike against us. After the first alarm came a second, then a third. The atmosphere couldn't have been more tense. I had to make a decision fast. I knew the system could be at fault, so I decided to report this as a false alarm. As I did so, a fourth rocket showed up on the screen, then a fifth, and then everything went quiet.
Stanislav's orders were that he should pass the information up the chain of command to the General Secretary of the Communist Party, at that time Yuri Andropov. Stanislav's duty was to begin the process that only minutes later would have launched a massive nuclear retaliation by the Soviet Union. Intuitively, he knew the alert to be a computer error. He decided to disobey procedure.
The thought crossed my mind that maybe someone had really launched a strike against us, to provoke us into launching a counter-strike. That made it even harder to lift the receiver and say it was just a false alarm. I understood that I was taking a big risk.
That single split-second decision broke him. He had been a promising young army officer, several times decorated and quickly promoted. But the computer error, when it was reported, triggered a massive inquiry in the army, and Stanislav was not rewarded, he was blamed.
Instead of saying, "Thank you, comrade, you did well," my commanders held me responsible for what happened. I was made the scapegoat. That was our system, the old Soviet system, in the old Soviet army.
Stanislav took early retirement from the service and suffered a nervous breakdown. His courage and quick-wittedness prevented disaster, but cost him his health, his job, and his peace of mind. Alan Little, BBC News, Moscow.
Did you hear?